And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, legal, and so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
Helping you win in any marketplace, that is the goal of our show. We don't care if you're climbing a corporate ladder or if you throw a ladder in your truck on the way to work. This show's for you. We're going to help you win, make you more street smart here in the Tampa Bay market, the Gulf Coast region of Florida. Signal goes all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples on one of our stations here. We got our TV show on WeBeam TV. You can also stream it live from our website, consumerqb.com. Watch our TV show version on PlatinumMVPRealty.net as well is a site that we want you to check out if you're a seller out there. If you're thinking about selling real estate, check out PlatinumMVPRealty.net and ConsumerQB.com. You can submit the form there as well. And also our hotline number, 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. We're going to help you with any questions. You can call or text that number, 670-REQB. And Intelligent Talk Radio, I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Chelsie Lamie, personal injury trial attorney.
You got
back
it,
in
Brandon.
the house.
I'm here. I'm back.
She's back. Back in the house.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I was so afraid I wasn't going to make it. Just got hot off of a depot of my client. I can't wait to talk about it.
Oh, good. Okay. That'll be fun. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. Things happening in the Tampa Bay market as well. We've got mortgage expert Mario Larrea in the house, mortgage specialist for Home First Lending. Welcome in.
Hey, glad to be here again. I'll be, kind of going over the mortgage and real estate environment today. Some good content.
Mortgage environment, talk about rates. We always like to talk about rates, what's happening there. We talk about, a lot of volume right now too. There's, lack of inventory. We're going to touch on that and maybe just kind of tease a little bit about what the Fed, not Ted, but the Fed's going to talk about, what they're looking at rates and looking at how they're influencing rates. That is not a direct correlation, but we'll talk more about that. And, I'd love to touch on some of the down payment assistance programs, some of those types of things out there as well, Mario.
Yeah, definitely. I have a bunch of those right now that are available. So, a lot of people don't know that they can get in for a lot less than what they are thinking, and sometimes with barely anything at all. So a lot of good stuff out there right now.
Yeah, that's great. The down payment assistance, the municipalities, these low down payment programs. We're going to talk about that with Mario Larrea coming up, as well as back in studio. It's been a little while. He's been out of the studio for a little while. Paul Bundschu is back in the house. He's the sales manager for One Stop Cooling and Heating. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you, Brandon. I'm glad to be back and talk about some air conditioning.
Yeah, it's that time of year.
Oh, it's crazy.
And if you get that call, and we'll talk about some of the things that the competition's doing, some different things to be concerned about, and how to kind of avoid that as well.
Yep. We'll talk about all that and let you know how to get into a good air conditioner if you need one, or if you need service, we offer that. We can offer that too.
Like it. Love it. Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio. We always start our show with a little bit of personal development. And we're going to help you here with a 2-minute audible. We got The Power of Habit. This was a great book I read a while back. Why we do what we do. Okay, so you want to think about the framework here. So if you've got a bad habit, also, there's good habits that you develop as well as we develop these over time. But in your adolescent years and your early working years, you're identifying. What you want to do is identify the routine. So there's going to be a routine that's going to come about. You're going to experiment with different types of rewards if you're looking to change a particular bad habit. You want to isolate the cue, and then you want to have a plan. So a great example would be, identify what they did. MIT did a research study they talked about what the neurological loop was, right? So when you're having these different types of habits that you might be looking to break. So you want to understand what your own habit is, and you need to identify the components of your loops. And then once you identify the components of the habit loop, then you want to look to supplant other vices, old vices, with new routines. So there's an example in the book. They talked about, if you're particularly maybe looking to go on a diet, right? So the new year's come around, everybody's going to be on that bandwagon again. So there's afternoon at 3:30 time, you're at your desk, you want to get up, you want to go get a cookie or something from the lunchroom. Or maybe even chat with colleagues. So what you're going to do is you're going to identify, hey, what's the routine? You're going to, typically you get up, you go get that cookie, that dessert, right? So now what you want to understand is maybe it's just that you want to go chat. You want to take a break from your work. What are the other reasons why you might be getting up? Maybe it's boredom. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you got low blood sugar and you're looking for an energy rush. So, going back to the identifying the routine, experiment with different rewards and isolate the cue, and then develop your plan. So there's your 2-minute drill from the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win. And let's go ahead and jump into this great content. We've got a personal injury attorney here, Chelsie Lamie, in studio. And, let's talk about what you're seeing out there. The roads are wet. You got personal injury things happening. The slip and falls at work, and, what's going on?
Yeah, there's unfortunately a real uptick in car accidents in the summer with the rain. So you really have to slow down, leave that space. Make sure you have I talked about that all the time. Your listeners are probably so tired. Your listeners could probably have a law degree with what I've taught them about
Yeah.
So, those are the things you gotta be looking out for. But I really think what I want to connect with your listeners about today, Brandon, if it's okay with you, is the quality of the attorney you choose when it comes to litigating that case where you're in the rain and you suffer a rear end collision. I just got out of a depot. I didn't think I was going to make it here in time. I was calling saying, wait for me. And it was awesome. It was just everything flowed because my client, number one, he's a good guy. Number two, he told the truth and he kept it short and he kept it simple. But I prepared him. And it never ceases to amaze me when I talk to clients who've had other attorneys in the past who maybe have had a deposition before, and they say, oh, so you're just going to, meet me there 15 minutes, 30 minutes before and prepare me. And my office is like, no, you're going to, months before, we're going to have a meeting. We're going to fill out these interrogatories. You're going to sit down with Chelsie. And then weeks before, Chelsie reviews all of your medical records. I let the clients review the summary that I do of their medical records. So that way they know exactly what's in there and what they might, be pop quizzed about, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then I practice with them and I teach them all the rules and I teach them the tricks and the pitfalls and how they can, sort of come out of it. Because think of how unfair that is. A regular person who's never, done anything, more with the law than watch an SVU, and suddenly they feel like they're in a real life episode, and the person on the other side is being paid hundreds of dollars per hour to knock down their claim, to make them look bad, to make them look like a liar. The insurance companies don't want, plaintiffs to come across well in a deposition. So you're being quizzed about things. One little note in your medical record, Paul, can you imagine, from 25 years ago? You don't know what the doctor wrote in there 25 years ago, but I do. Wow. I get all these records. I summarize them. I go over them with the client. And the client just left today all smiles. He was like, I felt like what you prepared me for was 10 times worse than what really just happened. But I love that. I'll take that over somebody being surprised and unprepared any day.
Yeah.
So that's really hiring the attorney who's going to give you the quality prep, not only of your case and the records, but preparing you by having multiple sit-down appointments in person with the lawyer to really go over the questions and hear what your answers are and help you to understand the legal process. And I know it's so dorky, right? But I get such a rush and such a high off of doing this.
Great.
It's really my passion.
Yeah, that's not dorky. I love that. That's passionate. That's loving what you do. So yeah, and you think about it almost from like a lot of times I equate things back to football, right? So that the team, a lot of times that's the most prepared and that has put themselves in that position and role played is ultimately the team that's going to be the victor in the end. So ultimately that's kind of your strategy when you're doing this with your clients.
Absolutely. They have to prepare, and it's my job. I'm the coach, so to speak, to get my team or to get my player prepared for that. And there's no, telling them what to say. There's no way a person could ever, first of all, it's unethical and I would never do that. Second of all, they can't memorize these things go on for 3 to 5 hours. They can't memorize a 3 to 5 hour script.
Yeah.
So what I do is I just pull out the truth. I pull out, things they might have not thought about. I point out to them these little bad things that are in their medical records from 20 years ago that I know the defense wants to blindside them with.
Yep.
And when they know it and they don't get blindsided, they're just rocking it. And I just love doing depositions because it's a great opportunity for our client to just come across in the best possible light and really put the insurance company on notice, not only that this is a great client and it's a great case, but there's a great lawyer behind it who's not only litigating it, but litigating it the right way, not just meeting with the client a few minutes before.
No, that's important. So Coach Chelsie Lamie here on the Quarterback Show.
I'll have to call the bar and make sure we can use that.
Just kidding. We take that away. We got the disclaimer at the bottom.
You.
Yeah. So when you look at that, when you look at the strategy and you look at those types of things, and there's some law firms out there that will run commercials and they don't actually even see the courtroom, is what I've heard. There's kind of a rumor around town.
Yeah, I've heard those rumors too.
Yeah.
Definitely, when you're hiring a personal injury attorney, find out about their education, their experience.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I say, when you call up, if you're just getting the runaround from paralegal to paralegal or intake specialist, or some guy or woman you don't know shows up at your door, when you were expecting to meet with a lawyer, red flag, throw the red flag on the field and,
that's right,
and call it, because game should be over at that point. You need to be speaking with the real lawyer and meeting with the real lawyer, which, as you know, Brandon, I do. I physically go out there and I meet with the clients wherever they need to meet if they can't come to my office.
Yeah, that's great. And once you interview Chelsie, you're going to understand that it's a different point of view. It's a different culture altogether with her show. It's been a pleasure, getting to know her over the last year or so since we've been working together here on the Quarterback Show. So when we come back, let's jump into a little bit more of that. We're going to talk also with Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending, and we have Paul Bundschu in the house as well. He's a sales manager for One Stop Cooling and Heating, and we got some great content coming up. Giving a shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or a facial at an affordable price, but without having to sign up for a membership? Look no further. At Signature Massage and Facial Spa, they offer a 1-hour Swedish massage for $49.95. Always no contracts. Come in during the early bird hours and you'll receive an additional $10 off, and there you'll receive a professional massage at a great price. For those muscles and knots that need extra work, ask about getting a deep tissue or a sports massage. And if skincare is what you're looking for, they have amazing facial and microderm packages. Check out Signature Massage and Facial Spa at 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, or call directly at 813-925-8898. 813-925-8898 to schedule an appointment. And make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you using the coupon code RELAX, and you're going to get a 10% discount if you're a new customer. All right, so when we come back, more from our expert contributors. We also have an interesting top 10. We're going to go over the top 10 highest paid actresses in 2017, and we have our feel-good story of the week as well. A girl pushes for a traffic light at dangerous Pasco intersection. We're going to talk about that. And stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
Listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm a former USF football player. I played on the inaugural football team at USF. Real excited about the Bulls' prospects this year. A longtime quarterback on my sports teams, and now we're quarterbacking introductions to all of our expert contributors. Over 80 show partners now with the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we all want to help you win, help you understand, things out there, help you think a layer deeper when it comes to your legal advice, when it comes to real estate, mortgage, finance, estate planning, tax planning. Over 80 show categories now with the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we all want to help you win. So make sure you save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. 813-670-7372, 813-670-7372. And we are giving a shout out to Hula Bay, one of our restaurant partners in beautiful South Tampa. It's a waterfront ambiance, excellent food, a wide variety on the menu. They've got great sushi as well. On the weekends, they've got some great music as well, live bands on the weekends there. Hula Bay Club on Tyson Avenue in South Tampa, right off of West Shore in South Tampa. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. And, of course, they're going to hook you up with that free water with lemon. You know that. All right, we're back here in studio having some fun here on the Quarterback Show. Coming up, we got the top 10 highest paid actresses of 2017. We're going to have our expert contributors guests, and we also have our feel-good story of the week. So in studio with me today, Chelsie Lamie, personal injury trial attorney. We have Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. We've got Paul Bundschu as well, sales manager for One Stop Cooling and Heating. So back to Chelsie now. So Chelsie, different ways. Personal injury comes up in a lot of different ways.
Sure, yeah. There's a lot of attorneys out there, and sometimes they do lots of different things. Sometimes they do everything. I personally feel, a jack of all trades is a master of none sometimes, and I have always limited my practice strictly to personal injury. And I even have narrowed it down even further. And I don't do work comp. I don't do nursing home. I don't do med mal. I really like to focus on, the hardworking men and women, plumbers, electricians, accountants, lawyers, doctors, cashiers. I have clients, from every, end of the spectrum, so to speak. And all I do is auto accidents, slip and falls, and negligent security cases, like maybe like a nightclub shooting or, a stabbing in a parking lot. Those really unfortunate situations that can take a person either completely away from their family or render them so incapacitated that they can't earn. And I think we all know that the average American family is really living on that razor edge of the sword
That's
that
right.
they could fall off at any time.
Yeah.
And it's one thing when you fall off because you've made a mistake. It's a whole entirely different thing when you fall off the edge because somebody else was, texting and driving, or, didn't, a business that knows they make millions of dollars a year from having customers come through their door, and they can't be bothered to, have a protocol to timely clean up spills. or, a nightclub that brings in lots of money, over serving people and letting them get into fights. And before you know it, a gun comes out and somebody's gone. So these are the things that they're sad. They're really unfortunate, and they can cause, big problems in families, but it's something that I really have a big passion for. And I love trying to help my clients pick up those pieces. So that's what I focus on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a different culture around there. And, definitely if you're reaching out, if you want to reach out to Chelsie, we'd love to hear from you. ConsumerQB.com. Just submit the form there. And, anybody that's out there texting and driving, stop doing that. Especially the sexting and driving. Don't be doing that out there.
Why are you looking at Mario?
The camera. It's the camera.
I'm sorry, Mario. I thought he was looking at you.
All right, having a little fun here.
It did look like he was looking at me.
I'm looking at the camera. All right, so Mario Larrea, he's in the house. Mortgage specialist for Home First Lending. So, shifting gears, real estate's hot, the market's hot. We had Fred Muth in here, a.k.a. the Tim Man, yesterday, talking about, he puts on these aluminum screen buildings and, all types of ways that you can improve real estate properties. I think most people understand, most millionaires have been built through real estate, the number one, as far as sector that it goes. Real estate's a great place to be, and Tampa Bay is one of the best places. It's the hottest place in the United States, in my opinion. Beautiful place to live, work, and play.
Yeah, and I mean, right now things are great. Unfortunately, for the North Korea stuff going on, it's really helping rates stay low. So, I mean, anytime there's anything in the world going on bad, it's unfortunately good for mortgages, but, that's just how it is. So, they'd been saying rates were going to go up. You never know what's going to happen. So right now it's still holding us down to where, you can afford a little bit more house than you're going to be able to in the future. And, just like how Fred Muth's been adding on, there's construction loans and stuff like that, rehab loans where you can add on, make it the house of your dreams. So it's a great time right now still.
Lots of opportunity out there. You look at the low down payment assistance programs. You see 1% downs. You got the different FHA programs with right around 3% down. So I think a lot of people still think they got to put the 20% down. And then you think about down payment assistance programs. You can get local municipalities to have monies. You have state funds. A lot of options.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a product that we have from Freddie Mac that Fannie Mae has one too, but it's a low down payment program. They also offer lower mortgage insurance, a little bit lower rates than normal conventional loans. Within the last few months, they actually there was an income limit within Hillsborough County, Pinellas, Pasco. It's been completely lifted. So you can put as little as 3% down on up to a $420,000 loan. So, you can get into a pretty decent size home with not a whole lot down.
Yeah, you look at where can you leverage? First of all, you talk about the stock market, you talk about mutual funds, which most mutual funds, by the way, don't outperform the index. 95% underperform an index, so you're better off just investing directly into the index. But when you look at real estate, you look at the opportunity to live in an asset or have someone else live in there, pay your rent. You're going to take advantage of the depreciation write-offs. You're going to take advantage of the appreciation on your growth of wealth. You're going to have, it's an insurable asset, so you can insure it. I don't think you can insure, an Enron stock where they're falsely inflating, and you got all this different things happening there. So when you think about the asset class of real estate, especially even for a conventional loan, people are going to do some of these conventional loans with the low down payment on a triplex or a quad, and now you live in one side and you rent out the other 3 units. You got an income capacity growing every year.
Well, yeah, and just like you mentioned, on a duplex up to a quadruplex, you can have those other units rented out, and now you have depreciation on top of it's your primary residence, so you're allowed to write off the interest. So, I mean, all around it's saving you money. At the same time, the asset's appreciating. So, you're having other people pay your mortgage down for you. You're getting to write off the interest that basically they're paying for you. You're writing off depreciation. I mean, it's, all around, it's a good investment.
Let's do this for our renters out there. Let's talk about renters for a moment, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna offer a rent versus own analysis. Let's break down the numbers for them, Mario. But because a lot of renters, the rents are increasing. Harvard did a study some years ago, and especially in Tampa Bay, what a hot market it is. You've got hedge funds coming in, buying up inventory. Sometimes they'll clean them up and put a little granite in there, but they're charging more and more rents every year for these properties. So when you look at being stuck in a position of renting. You're paying more money for rent than you could own. Sometimes difference of $400, $500, $600 a month. So you're losing out on the tax advantages. There's a lot of reasons why people want to buy versus rent.
Yeah, definitely. And it's right now, I think the national average is it's about 30% more expensive to rent right now than own. And, you're getting nothing back for that. You can pay a little bit less and the property is going to appreciate. You're going to be paying down your mortgage, so overall it's cheaper right now to go ahead and purchase. And a lot of times, if you're going to rent, they're going to want first month, last month up front.
Yep.
You can work that out to being a down payment in a lot of cases. If it's not, it would be close, maybe a little bit more, but with some of the down payment assistance programs, it could be a lot less too.
And you know what we'll do too with Platinum MVP Realty? Let's do for the first 5 callers who actually take action today. What we will do, we will take our commission and we'll give you back, we'll rebate back a 0.5 point on your deal. So if you do a deal through Platinum MVP Realty as the real estate company, we will rebate monies, and we can do that. We can give our money away if we want to. So we're going to give it to the first 5 listeners right now who's a renter and you want to get into home ownership. Platinum MVP Realty, we were going to rebate monies back. And also for veterans, there's some awesome rebates and things that we can do there as well. So extra incentives. So text the word rent and the amount of rent that you're paying to our consumer advocate hotline, 813-670-7372. We're going to give you that 0.5 point rebate discount back. And, if you're buying a $100,000 property, that's $500 towards your cost. So text the word rent, 813-670-7372. And we're going to give you a rent versus own analysis, compliments of Mario Larrea, mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. Stay with us. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. And when we come back, we got the top 10 highest paid actresses of 2017 and the rest and more from our expert contributors. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, and a published author, professional speaker as well. Check out our book on Amazon. We'd love for you to check out a copy and let us know what your thoughts are. Give us some feedback online. Become the MVP in your industry by surfing the radio waves is available on Amazon. We'd love for you to check that out. In studio today, we got our all-star lineup. It's Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio. First segment, we heard from Chelsie Lamie, personal injury trial lawyer, as well as Mario Larrea. He's a mortgage specialist with Home First Lending. And we have Paul Bundschu is in the offices or in the studio today as well, sales manager for One Stop Cooling and Heating. And we were going back to Mario here. Mario, we were talking about mortgage. We're talking about the renters. So hopefully those renters will be reaching out as well as we go throughout the week. But I want to shift gears, talk about these renovation loans because, let's say, for example, the AC goes out, there's problems or there's a bad AC already existing in a home. Maybe it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 3-bedroom, 1-bath property that's in that Plant High School district, or it's in that, district where you want to be, you want your children to be, but you're going to go in there and you're going to be able to have these renovation style loans, these 203Ks, those types of loans, and add a lot of different amenities.
Yeah, absolutely. And, part of the thing that people are having problems with right now is the lack of inventory. So, if there's a specific neighborhood that you want to be in, but the house just isn't up to exactly what you want, you can make that house what you want it to be. You can add on square footage. You can update kitchen, update flooring. If it needs a new roof, you can finance that in. Air conditioning, you can finance that in. So, basically anything that's present in the house that you don't like, you can change that and, finance the cost. So, we're seeing a lot more of those now because of the lack of inventory, but, it's something to keep in mind. A lot of people don't realize that those loans are available.
Yeah, it is. It's a great product. It allows you to keep more of your, your hard-earned money in your pocket and finance. The old back to the real estate again, being a millionaire. It's one of the secrets of the millionaires is OPM, right? Other people's money. You're leveraging that, and then now you're able to buy an asset. You can control, a $500,000 asset for a 3% down payment. Typically, so you take 15, 17 grand or so, and you're controlling a $500,000 asset.
Yeah, and a lot of times, what I would say, I say to a lot of people is, even though you have the money to put down more, it's always nice to have money in the bank. You never know what's going to happen. Things could come up, but, you don't have to put that much down if you don't want to. So, you can reinvest some of the other money that you have and not tie it all up into that because the real estate's going to appreciate by itself. Whether you have equity locked up into it or not. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's bring Paul into the conversation as well. Paul, are you seeing the other side of some of these renovation loans? Have you guys done that before?
I do work for a lot of renovation contractors, and they finance all the air conditioning and everything right into the loans.
Nice.
We're doing one right now over in Clearwater where the homeowners just bought the home, haven't moved into it, and basically went in and gutted the whole house and are building their dream house.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what's great about these different types of programs. You can do that, and
that's one of the two biggest problems that I normally see is the first one's the roof and the second one's the AC.
Big time.
So, people can't get a normal loan through because it's going to get held up in appraisal. It's a good option to look into.
Yeah, and insurance as well.
The insurance is really tough to get with the roof situations.
Yep. And that's as simple as a 4-point inspection. A lot of times when I list a property, I like to get an upfront inspection. That way we know what we're dealing with. We've got Snoop Dogg, Jay Smith, a Snoop inspection on our team. He will do a $125 or so. He'll do a 4-point inspection for you. Find out the major components, the plumbing, the AC, the electrical, and the roof. And find out what you got going on there as well. Again, on our website, consumerqb.com, all of our expert contributors are listed there at consumerqb.com. So, Paul, what else are you seeing out there, my friend?
It's hot out there, and people's air conditioners are breaking down all the time.
Yeah.
And, I try to stress to people, don't wait for it to break. Because if you're waiting for it to break, you're making a big mistake.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
But our service techs are working 16, 18 hours a day, and they can't keep up. Nobody can keep up.
Wow.
There's a big labor shortage as far as contractors go in the Tampa Bay area. Yeah. Everybody is struggling for labor. Wow. So if you're waiting for it to break, and you're trying to get it fixed, you're going to wait for a while. You're going to sit there without air, and nobody wants to sit without air. I mean, I hear people screaming every day, and we get to as many people as we can. And I have friends that are in the air conditioning business, and they're all going through. Everybody's going through the labor shortage.
You constantly hear that. I've got friends of mine that are builders, developers. That's the thing. Anybody that owns a small business has dealt with this. It's finding good help is what they say, right?
It's miserable. I mean, we offer sign-on bonuses, high hourly wages, but it's still just trying to get people in the door that are qualified is really tough.
Yeah. Say that's a major contributing factor to the drop in or lack of inventory too, because the home builders just can't find people to work either.
Yeah, and the renovation, the guys out there doing the flips, the renovation guys, they're having the same issue.
Yeah, I hear it from my builders all the time.
Yeah,
I had a builder call me yesterday, as a matter of fact. He calls me up and he says, "Do you know any framers?" I'm like, "You're the builder, man. I'm the air conditioning contractor."
Wow.
He says, "Well, I'm grasping at straws." And
wow.
And he's a great builder, and he's having trouble finding framers.
Yeah, that's tough, man. You look at that, and a lot of issues with the labor pool, and then the infrastructure that's laid out. Hopefully, with Trump, he's talking about doing some infrastructure improvements with the roads and all the different bridges and things of that nature. So, what I hear is when that happens, if that happens, that it's going to create even more of a strain for not only raw materials but labor as well.
I never thought that I'd. The old saying is, whoever has the labor is going to win, and I really never thought it'd come to that, but it's really what it's coming to.
Yeah, especially at a boom right now. I mean, it's such a boom, so there's so many people back into the real estate game. There's so many people building new inventory, home builders, renovations going on. And if you just joined us, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. We're talking with Paul Bundschu. He's the sales manager for One Stop Cooling and Heating. So, let's talk about also, we've talked about in previous shows, I believe, the PACE program, the Preferred Alternative Clean Energy Program. Are you seeing much of that?
I see a little bit of that. It's actually called Y-Green also.
Y-Green, yeah, that's right.
Either way, it's the same thing. But I see a little bit of that. Not as much as I thought I would. I really thought that would really go off really big, but it hasn't really taken off to the point that I thought it would. Because that can get people into a lot of different things with basically no money down, and you can have a negative credit score if that's even possible, but you don't even need a credit score to get into that. All you need to have is a home with a little bit of equity in it, and it qualifies you for not only for air conditioning but roofs and a lot of other stuff. Anything anything that has to do with saving money on electric or on energy, then
Windows.
I had a customer that I talked to, I don't know, about a month ago, and he was qualified for $60,000. I mean, his house was like $100,000 house, and he only owed $40,000 on it, and he was qualified for $60,000. So he's putting in an air conditioner, windows, roof, and insulation. I mean, he's basically rebuilding his house with it.
Wow!
And it's a low interest, and like I said, you need no credit.
So no credit needed. You have an opportunity to access the equity in your home up to 100% LTV, loan to value.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is very interesting. And I think certain counties only around here have adopted it. Which ones are they?
Pasco, Hillsborough, and I think Pinellas is actually just adopted it also.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's a great program. I really don't, and I don't know why it hasn't taken off the way I thought it would, but hopefully some of your listeners will hear this and reach out.
Yeah, reach out. We'd love to talk to you about it and help, get you in touch with Paul Bundschu. He's a sales manager for One Stop Cooling and Heating. Get that maintenance done. Be proactive. Get the maintenance done, and find out more about this PACE program. If you have equity in your home, no credit requirements included there or needed there. And reach out to us at 813-670-7372, 813-670-7372. And we're going to shout out to Healthy Gourmet, meal plan starting at $90 a week. Shout out to Felicia Lacaille, Optimal Fuel, Optimal Performance, organic veggies, natural proteins delivered fresh 3 times a week by Healthy Gourmet. And meal plan starting at only $90. You get 10 meals a week for $90. What else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? So reach out. We'd love to talk to you about that. And also giving a shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. And Platinum MVP Realty got a couple of hot listings, some vacant land available. So speaking of this development, speaking of all the builders going on, the building going on here, I've got a commercial asset at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. This is a great opportunity. It's a 0.82 acres property at 1401 Seminole Boulevard in Largo. $450,000 just reduced, and it's a great corner lot vacant opportunity. And we also have 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner. This is 84 acres for development. It's a great opportunity to develop here. $1.7 million. Actually, we just reduced that down to 1.5, I believe. And it's 2606 North Valrico Road in Seffner. A couple of hot listings from Platinum MVP Realty. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.net. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors. We're jumping into our top 10. We're going to be talking about the top 10 highest paid actresses in 2017 and more from our expert contributors. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, everybody. I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP Realty, and we're giving a shout out to Kathy Finnegan. She is Accountable Actions LLC. She offers a wide range of professional coaching services, many of which can be customized depending on the client's needs. And this includes wellness, fitness, nutrition, life, and sales coaching, business and professional coaching, and relationship coaching as well. Kathy Finnegan is a certified professional coach and a certified wellness coach with a background in extreme exercise nutrition, and she has extensive experience providing others with the accountability they need to reach their goals. Check out Kathy at accountableactions.com. Accountableactions.com. All right, we're back here in studio helping you win in any marketplace. That is the goal of our show. We are in our fourth quarter here, so you know that is time for our top 10. All right, so we got our top 10 highest paid actresses of 2017. Ladies first right here, Chelsea. You are up first.
These movies or television?
Highest paid actresses. I guess that could be both, right?
Well, what about her name? She's the blonde. She did those Hungry movies. I never saw
the Hunger Games.
Yes, Jennifer. I don't want to. It's not Aniston. Lawrence.
Yeah,
Jennifer she always
Lawrence.
trips on the run or on the red carpet.
Oh,
I feel like she's my soul sister.
Number 3.
I would do that too.
Number 3 on the list. You got it right.
Yay.
Number 3 on the list. Jennifer Lawrence. $24 million last year. Not shabby. Not too shabby. Is she the one that does the airline commercials too? Is that her? That's
No,
a different
that's
one.
Ben Affleck's ex-wife.
That's
Jennifer Garner.
Thank you.
Garner. Okay,
That'll be my guess then.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised she's not in the top 10.
No, but I don't think she's been in anything other than commercials in a while.
Yeah,
she's busy. She's got kids, man.
she did a good one
alone.
about with the something about God or something. The kids something about God. The kid falls out of the tree. That was a really good movie.
Is Heaven for Real?
Yes, that was it. She did that one. That was recent. Okay, so is that your final offer?
Yeah.
Okay, you're just thinking of one, right?
Yeah.
I got one now.
I was sitting here for a while. I'm like, I can't think of anything.
Right. You always. It seems like you hear the actors more so than you hear about the. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's just me. All right, Paul. Top 10 highest paid actresses of 2017.
I'm going to have to go with the Jennifer too. How about Aniston?
You got it. Number 2 on the list, Paul. Good stuff. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston, $25.5 million. They're definitely showing them the money over there. All right, Chelsea.
Oh, back to me already? That comes quick.
Back to you.
The La La Land young woman. She's real cute. Sometimes she's a redhead. Sometimes she's a blonde.
Oh man,
I got nothing.
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Number 1 on the list.
Really?
Emma Stone. $26 million. Emma Stone. Yeah.
It's good to be Emma
Very
Stone.
Cool. I see the names here. One of them's a pretty, really. She's an up and comer as far as a comedian. Recently.
I know who that is.
one that you've seen around for a while. She was in that movie with Nicolas Cage where they were Con Air. She was in that one. Do you remember that one? I think that's what she was in. And then you got one with she was in one of the real famous movies with Richard Gere. And then the other ones I can't think.
Julia Roberts.
Julia Roberts. Yay! Boom. Number 9. $12 million.
All right.
$12 million. Yep. There you go. All right, Paul. You got any more guesses for us?
I don't know names. The one that was in the Hangover movie.
The Hangover. I can't think of it.
I think there's a woman in that movie. I know all the dudes in it.
I was trying to think of that one.
I can't think of her. I can't think of the name. I'm
sorry, man. I had me. So I'm gonna give you the top 10 here. So Amy Adams, was that her? Amy Adams, $11.5 million. Julia Roberts, number 9. Number 8 was Kate Blanchett, $12 million. Number 7 is Charlize Theron. That's the one I was thinking of. I think she was in. Was she in that Con Air? Was that her? Or no, I can't remember. Emma Watson, Mila Kunis, Melissa McCarthy. That's the comedian I was telling you about. So and then you guys guessed number 3 was Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Aniston, and Emma Stone. So there's your top 10 highest paid actresses of 2017. And all right, let's jump into our feel good story. Tell me something good. All right, so we got an interesting story here. A girl pushes for and gets a traffic light at a dangerous Pasco intersection. So she was the efforts go to a 14-year-old girl, Michaela Trowell, was frustrated with dangerous intersection and in front of her school, this Lake Middle School in Spring Hill. Children walked down the street leaving school, and it felt very unsafe, Trowell said. She couldn't believe there was no traffic light in front of the school. Not even school officials could get one placed there. We were told there was a plan, but it was very far out, as said the principal. She jumped into action. She started a petition, and she set tents up outside the school trying to get signatures. And she also did, it looks like there's The county commissioners got on board, and now students can head to school knowing they'll be safer. So there's our feel good story of the week in Pasco County, up for our North County listeners up there. All right, we're jumping into our lightning round.
The lightning round.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
All right, lightning round. Top tips, things to do, things to avoid, nuggets of advice. Chelsie, you're up first.
I love the story of the 14-year-old girl.
Cool, right?
So I'm going to go off of that. Let's say, find a problem in your community and figure out how you can be part of the solution.
Nice.
I really love how that little girl took that initiative. I'm going to talk to you about her afterwards. I want to meet this little girl.
Yeah, really cool,
this
right?
Is great. Find a problem and create a solution and put it into action.
That's right. Be a force for good. Mario Larrea.
I'm going to piggyback off something Chelsie said earlier, and I mean, this kind of goes for any industry, but find out who you're working with. Do some research before you decide who you're going to go with. Look locally, look at people's reviews, get some referrals from people that have used other people in the past. So, I see it happen all the time with the mortgage bait and switch, people working with people from, a call center out of up north, and you don't really know who you're working with. So, do a little bit of research before you start something.
Yeah, that's a big one, especially in the mortgage industry. Paul?
I kind of think the relationship thing's a big thing. When you deal with me, you get my cell phone number that I answer all the time, right? It's right on my business card, my cell phone number. I answer it every time I can, and I always return my calls. So I think that's big, to deal with people that you know and people that are wanting to help you.
That's right. Yeah, that is a big one. Being able to, reach out to somebody and get the answers that you need.
And I have people call me at midnight. I have people call me on the weekends.
Wow.
My boss said, "Do you really want your cell phone number on there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Hey, good for you, man. Yeah, good for you. That's a class act right there. All right, another round. We got another round here, Chelsie. So top tips, things to do.
I'm gonna keep saying it till I die. Get At least 1 in 4 automobiles on the roads in Florida have no bodily injury insurance. That means the driver who rear ends you and hurts you and keeps you from working and earning money does not have enough money to pay for your medical bills, let alone anything else. So Protect yourself, protect your family, pull out your policy, make sure you have uninsured motorist.
And because then it's going to come back to your own insurance.
Right. Your insurance company will then stand in the shoes of that uninsured person and have to pay you for your pain and suffering and medical bills and things like that you would otherwise completely out of luck because the person who hit you didn't have insurance.
Yeah, and you're going to have set limits, right? So when that money stops, you got to kick it in, or what do? They kick you out of the hospital?
Well, I hope not. If they do call me, I'll find you an attorney who will help you with that. But no, really, there's just a lot of people, a lot of uninsured drivers. And of course, we all know PIPs, Florida's a PIP state, a no fault state, but that just means that the first $10,000 of your bills are paid by your own insurance. After that, it goes on the person who hit you.
Right.
So if that person has nothing, you got to have it come back to you. And if you don't have there's nothing to come back to. You're just SOL.
Wow. That's tough. That's a tough one to bite off. Mario Larrea.
If you're working with somebody mortgage wise, if you're talking to somebody whose rates or costs are way below somebody else, if it sounds too good to be true, normally it is. So just be real weary. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of the bait and switch stuff going on out there, but I get it all the time where I'm talking to somebody who is, I have access to the lowest rates costs in the industry, and they're, a half point lower than I am, and there's just no way.
Yep.
By the time they come to closing, they're already stuck. So they have to end up taking a worse deal than, what everybody else is offering them. So do your research, and, again, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah, exactly. That mortgage industry is a specific animal. I mean, people, they basically will, try to outlie somebody. I mean, it's bad. All right, Paul.
Bait and switch, that's a hot topic with air conditioning, because I can tell you there isn't a big margin in putting in new equipment. I actually had a customer that called me up, said I went to their house, gave them an estimate, called me the next day, said somebody was $800 cheaper than me, and I said, just be careful. Well, she called me, she got the install done, the people ripped their equipment out and says, oh, you missed this, and it's going to cost you an extra $1,000.
Wow.
So by the time she was done, she actually paid $300 more than what I was going to charge her.
Wow. Yeah.
But once you're stuck, you're stuck.
That's right.
And whether I miss something or not, whatever I quote on my quote,
Yep.
We stand behind that.
That's good. That's good stuff right there. Paul Bundschu, sales manager, One Stop Cooling and Heating, Mario Larrea, Home First Lending, and Chelsie Lamie, personal injury trial attorney here on this Quarterback Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks to our expert contributors. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have, food or clothing, handing it to that person that you see in need, or maybe even taking it to your church. A lot of churches will accept those donations and then give them out appropriately. So thanks for listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.